Hey guys, this is Jaclyn. You don't know Jack, and this is your non-toxic truth for Thursday. So when I was approached by the Real Deal of Parenting to get involved in this, I did not even for one moment hesitate to say yes. Guys, I think this is exactly what we need more of in this world right now. On some days, navigating this insane world as a mom can honestly make a root canal feel like a day at the spa. We really do need a place where we feel like we are the majority. We need a place where conservative morals and values won't immediately label us conspiracy theorists, even though I do wear that badge like as a badge of honor. We need to know there are millions of other moms out there who are feeling the same way we feel, saying the same prayers as us, and fighting those same daily fights. So I love this idea, and I hope you guys love it too. Society really hasn't only forgotten about some of these important truths. It's really that society just never even knew that so many of these truths were what they were. We have people believing that we can heal a nation through forcing experimental drugs onto people. We have a nation of people that believe being in this together means segregating the unvaccinated. The birthing mother must now surrender that beautiful, unique, special title because we now want to make people believe that there's a birthing person. The world is being ripped of Jesus Christ. And that's only to instill this new age collective consciousness, Luciferian ideas. And the churches are silent on that, which is the most scary part to me. I think you would probably agree. You know, science has become this religion, and if you defy that science, you're going to be crucified for it. False Hollywood idols are now medical professionals. Millions of babies are being ripped from the womb, and we're passing that off as healthcare. And again, the churches are silent. Hardly anybody has the mental aptitude to take responsibility for themselves, like real, true, raw, personal responsibility for their own actions. And so then we fall back on our government officials to make decisions for us and to think for us. So really what we've done is we've traded critical thinking for blind obedience. And we've become this conditioned to believe that free thought is a threat. We are now seeing a society of people that really do rally around this idea that critical thinking makes you a domestic terrorist. We've justified blatant draconian laws and mandates and measures because we selfishly think that these are things that are going to keep everybody safe. And it's not really that we're keeping everybody safe. Let's be honest, guys, people really do believe selfishly that they're going to be saved because of it. In short, we've lost control, right? We've lost control of our minds. We've lost control of our bodies. We've lost control of our soul. We've lost control of our morals altogether. And honestly, the ones in charge are the ones that are gaining a tighter grip. And that's what's really terrifying to watch. It's heartbreaking on most days to watch this unfold and feel like you're screaming from the rooftops and nobody's hearing you. So again, full circle, this is why I love this idea, because I think we all need a place where we can come and gather and feel like we're not lost in this world, because we're not. And especially if you stick to your faith, we are not lost in this world, and we are not to be defeated in this world. We have more power than we believe, and that's due to one thing, and I think that that's due to our faith in him. So this kind of brings me full circle to what I want to talk to you guys about today. I did struggle on what am I going to open up with, right? Like what there's so many crazy things going on in this world, and there's so many issues that I can tackle, and I can talk for hours on so many of these different issues. So I was like, what do I want to talk about today? And I think what I honed in on is I wanted to talk to you guys about why did I choose to start speaking so boldly on the things that I was passionate about. I woke up about 7 years ago, and from that point on, it was just this snowball. I couldn't stop. I couldn't keep my mouth shut. And as many times as I've thought, God, Jaclyn, you're crazy. You sound crazy. People are going to not like you. Just, maybe just lay off on this. Maybe just go this route, go that route. I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop speaking. And I want that for everybody. And I know that not everybody's going to be like me. Not everyone's going to be as brazen as I am. And that's okay. But I want everybody to feel like they can find their voice somewhere, somehow in this world, especially those who really see it for what it is, right? So again, I thought this would be a great topic because hopefully it will help some of you find your voice. That's really it. So if you're like me, I think that you'll probably share that sentiment that you're awake and not woke, right? I think that whole wokeism is just this diluted topic, this diluted term that is not what I thought it was supposed to be 7 years ago. So, they've hijacked that too. And I think that if you're like me, you started to see the world shifting, right? Especially in the last 2 years, once this pandemic happened, you started to see the world shift. You started to see things turn in ways that just didn't sit right in your soul. And you just knew something wasn't right. And I think that for everybody, we all have this different aha moment, right? Like I said, for me, it was 7 years ago. And my aha moment was when I was pregnant with my daughter. And I had a dear friend who said to me, Jaclyn, you do me a favor. I know this is going to sound insane, but do me a favor. And I need you to just research vaccines before you make this decision. And I don't know why I was a person that said, sure, that makes sense to me. Why wouldn't I? I didn't really have a strong opinion on it one way or another. I just thought it was something that you do. So, but that was all I knew. That's all I thought. So I said, okay, sure, I can do that. And I sat down and I started researching, and down the rabbit hole I went, and I was blown away. I couldn't believe the things that I was reading and watching. And I would call my friend and I would say, wait a minute, this and that and and wait, how could you do this? And I remember it was like the measles outbreak and Disneyland and all this stuff. And well, this doesn't make sense and this doesn't make sense. And she was like, just keep going, keep going, keep going. And so I did. And I just kept going and going and going. And I finally came to this like realization that if they're lying to us about this, what else are they hiding? Because this is a pretty big deal. We are putting our trust and our faith into these government officials, into these 3-letter agencies to be protecting our children, and really they're not. We're just, again, that blind faith in these agencies who are profiting off of our children, and we don't even know the truth. So that was my aha moment. And then down every rabbit hole I went. So I spent so much time just going in every direction and trying to figure out, like, where could this be coming from? Because this on its face, guys, is evil. So where could this be coming from? Why is this happening? Why are they doing this to our children? It's more than just profit. I mean, our Bible tells us that, money is the root of all evil, but it's more than just they want to have money. It's power, but it's power in such a greater way. So again, I just kept going down all these different rabbit holes. And when I came out of all of these rabbit holes, it was truly, I felt like I was vibrating. I don't know if this has ever happened to any of you, but I truly felt like my body was physically vibrating because I was so just awakened by some of this stuff that it was so raw, it was so real. And I remember driving in the car one day, and I picked my husband up from work, and I said to him, you're going to think this is maybe a little bit crazy, but I'm starting to see why the world is the way that it is. And it's because we really truly are living in a spiritual warfare. We are witnessing a fallen world, and we are part of that fallen world, and we're seeing spiritual warfare unfold right before our eyes. And this truly is good versus evil. This truly is God versus Satan. And I was seeing it on such a real level. It was a powerful thing, and in the magnitude of that, and that realization was huge to me. And so I just kept digging, and I said, I can't not speak up. I can't not speak out. I have to start, speaking on these things. And so I got onto Facebook when Facebook wasn't the terrible thing that it is now. And I started posting, and I did my first post, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was scared. I was scared because my following was people who I knew were going to reject these ideas that I had. They were my high school friends, my college friends, my family, et cetera. And I knew that they were going to think I was a little crazy. But I took that leap of faith and I leaned hard on Jesus Christ, and I just let the words fall right out of my mouth. It's like a river running wild, truly and honestly. And here's the thing. What I realized is not everyone's going to like you. I struggled with this idea because I did always feel like I was somebody who people liked. I had a really great way of making people feel comfortable. I was a people person. I was a socialite, and making this decision to speak out really made me realize that I'm going to have to probably change those ways about myself, right? I'm putting myself into a small little box, and that might not be that easy, but I did it. And again, I came to that realization that not everybody is going to like you, right? And that's okay. We have to be okay with the fact that not everybody is going to like us. And if people are going to judge you for the things that you say and the things that you feel and speaking freely and openly and speaking from your heart, then they really didn't like you to begin with. And that was something that did take a little while for me to like really, really absorb and live by. But it's the truth, and it's something that I hold on to greatly now. Like it's just these people who are going to judge you. If they're going to judge you, they were going to judge you for something, right? It's not just you speaking out. They were going to find something to judge you on. So speak your truth. Again, some people are going to think you're downright awful, right? Like, and that's fine too. Like that's fine. We don't need to be liked by everybody. And I don't know why we live in this society where we feel like we need to be liked by everybody. We need validation all the time. Everything needs to be validated. Our feelings need to be validated. Our thoughts need to be validated. Our sexual orientation needs to be validated. And it's misleading. And those thoughts are not of God. Because all of those thoughts, truly and honestly, think about it. Those thoughts they come from fear. We need the validation because we're fearful of what people think. We're fearful that we're not going to be liked. We're fearful that we're not going to have friends. And those are all, again, thoughts and fear. And that's not of God. Fear is not of God. So it was all of those feelings of realizing that take that leap of faith, because the man upstairs has got you. And that's really what I held on to. So, people always would ask me throughout the years of me speaking out, like, how do you do this? How do you handle the rejection? I mean, guys, I have been called every name in the book. Okay. If you go onto my social media page, you will see I have been attacked from every angle. I have had death wished upon my children, death wished upon myself. I've had the most insane people attack me, random people showing up in my inbox, and that's great. At first it stings, right? Like you really sit there and you're like, how could somebody say this about me? How could someone say this about my kid? And you cry and all the things, but you each time you speak out and each time you speak up, your voice gets greater. And and you become more emboldened by the things that you feel, because we are on the right side of history with this thing. And no doubt in my mind, we're on the right side of history on this thing. So, again, when people ask me, Jaclyn, how do you do this? How do you feel confident and comfortable? And how do you handle that rejection? And truly the answer is simple. I do it because I have faith. I have faith in him. Your faith is the most powerful thing that you can possess, really, truly, and honestly. And that's what I want people to understand. I used to believe that people that spoke out about Jesus Christ were a little corny. I was a believer in Jesus Christ. I always believed in Jesus Christ. I always had a connection to God. I always believed that God sent his only son, who was Jesus Christ. I always believed that, but I didn't really know and understand why I believed that. if that makes any sense. I didn't have like a foundation in that belief. And so I always thought that people were just kind of a little weird or corny, or how do they know Jesus so well? How do they speak about him so freely and openly? And it kind of made me uncomfortable. And I wasn't judging. It was my own uncomfortability that was making me think these thoughts, right? But the more I dug in and dug my heels down into the truth, the more that I spoke out, the more that I felt convicted in the things that I was speaking on, the more I educated myself on the things that I was speaking on, the more I found him. And the more I found that I was protected by him, and the more I found that I was only going to do more amazing things because of him. So that's what I want. That's what I want for everybody. We know that these things can't stay in the dark, right? We know that everything that is done in the dark will be brought to light. And so we need to be those people that are bringing it to light. If we know these truths, it is our responsibility to bring these things to life, because again, we live in a fallen world, and it's not about how many friends we have. It's not about how many likes we have on social media. It's not about how, cute we can make our house look and show it off to our friends on social media. It's not about those things. It's about what we are doing with this world while we're here, and what impact we're making on this world while we're here. And I truly believe that this is about solely finding the kingdom and focusing on the kingdom and how we're going to get there. And we get there by speaking the truth. And the truth is, we are in this fallen world, and we are to be seeking the light that's in Jesus Christ every single day. So yeah, there's so many of these wonderful truths that we need to be talking about, that we need people to see. And I think if we stick to what needs to be shared and not what we think needs to be shared, or not what we think people want to hear, I think that we're going to do amazing things. Truth be told, I did lose friends. I lost my best friend of 15 years. Truly, she lived with me in high school, and I started speaking out, and she did not like what I had to say, and we don't talk anymore. And that broke my heart. That was probably the hardest thing the hardest person that I lost. But again, it's not about, those people are going to leave your life, and there's going to be family members that are going to walk away from you. And that's okay. Again, you dig your heels in, and you lean on Jesus Christ, and everything's going to be okay. I focused on the people who wanted to be woken up. I think that is also something that people get really sidetracked by. Just last night, I had a dear friend messaging me like, well, this person's saying this about polio and and what should I say in this response? And she screenshot what her person she was arguing with was saying, and I read the arguments, and I'm like, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I've been doing this long enough. I could do this in my sleep at this point. This person is never going to see what you're saying. They don't want to see it, and some people aren't going to want to see it, and that's okay. We have to move on from those people. Some people are not going to wake up. We're all here on our own journey, and whether we are the wokest of the woke, or the most awake of the awake, or the sleepiest of the sheep, we're all here serving our purpose, and we're all going to get through this thing. We just need to focus on, I truly believe that we need to focus on the people who are ready to wake up. We need to focus on those sleeping lions. So those people that just won't see it, those people that are going to attack you, those people that are going to fight you tooth and nail on every single point that you try to make, you need to walk away from those people. That took me a while, but I promise you, it becomes easier and easier with each post you share, with each time you speak out in a conversation you're having with your friends or what have you. Each time you open your mouth or each time you type something and share that to the world, I promise it gets easier, and I promise you feel more empowered. The truth really, truly does set us free, and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. But again, focus on those people who want to wake up. Focus on those people who are ready to hear your message. You have to let go of the ones that are just never going to hear it. And you have to be okay with letting those people go. It's the truth that when we let some of these people go, we flourish. We become, we grow. There's growth in that. There's growth in that letting people go. And that doesn't mean you need to hate people. And that doesn't mean that you need to wish ill will on anybody. You pray for those people and you move on and you build your tribe. I've built the most amazing tribe. Guys, the real deal of parenting. I've found people on social media through speaking out who are better friends to me than the physical people in my life. I mean, that is an amazing, amazing thing. Speaking out, guys, I've shared myself. I've shared my life. I've shared my truths. I've shared my talents, and I've shared my heart. And I think, and I hope that you guys can do the same, because again, it's the most beautiful feeling to do these things. We really do get a greater sense of ourselves and who we are when we share these things. Each share is I look at it like each share is another day that I grew. And I want that for everybody. I think oftentimes those who share as boldly as someone like myself, I think that we are mistaken, not only that we're conspiracy theorists, but I think that we're mistaken that we think we're better than people. And I truly hope that I can convey the message that we don't think we're better than people. If we thought we were better than people, we wouldn't speak out, because we wouldn't want to share that information. We'd want to keep that all to ourselves. We'd want to stay better than people, right? But we that's not it. We share what we share because we want the same things for everybody. I want everybody to possess the knowledge that I have. It's right there at our fingertips. And there's such beautiful things in knowing what we know, and the empowerment in what we know. And if we can just let go of our egos and step out and not be afraid of the truth, wonderful, wonderful things will happen. And I say time and time again, through this journey, through building this tribe and watching the world and the way that it's unfolding, I firmly believe that it's not that people are afraid of the dark. Right? You would think that it would be an easy thought to think that, well, people are just afraid of the scary stuff. And no, people aren't afraid of the scary stuff. That's a true misconception. Look around. The whole damn world is scary, right? It's a terrifying world, and people are complacent and complicit in it. So people are not afraid of the dark. People are afraid of the light. And I have truly firmly believed that it's the fear of having to surrender so much control of your life and of what you knew to be true, because you then have to lean on something greater than you, which is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And that is what people are afraid of. And I do believe that. So guys, in closing, I hope I didn't ramble too much, and I hope this made so much sense for you. And I hope if at least one person heard this message and felt empowered, then I did my job. I just hope that you guys can all find your voice and all speak up and all start really, even if it's just one comment to your neighbor or one comment to your brother or your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, your mom, your dad, that one comment that will start making the change that we need in this world. And again, I think that, because of these things, I've loved my my spouse more. I've grown to love my children more, if that's even possible. That's a stronger love that I have for them. My relationship with Christ has strengthened and become more secure because of the way that I've spoken out. Just my whole life makes so much more sense, and things have opened up for me, this opportunity probably, because of how much I've spoken out and how convicted I've become and how unafraid. Faith is really low right now, and fear is super high, and we need to change that. We need to have great faith and little fear, because there is no fear in God, and we're going to make it through this. You know, we're here. We're going to do this thing together. We're going to build our tribe of people who don't co-parent with the government. We're going to build our tribe and empower our tribe, because our faith comes from the man upstairs, and we don't fear evil. So God is in control, guys. God is always going to win, and we just need to do our job while we're here and focus on the things that are going to get us to that kingdom, and focus on the things that are going to make the world a better place. So I celebrate our truths every day, celebrate these truths. Some of them are scary, but we celebrate them because we can't see them without the dark. The light can't exist. Or without the light, the dark can't exist. But that's kind of where I'm at, and I hope you guys enjoyed my talk, and I really appreciate you, and I'm grateful for all of you, and I'm excited to take this journey with you guys. So have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and I will see you all soon.